uyayibona ukuba iflegiwe intloko yam. Nantsi iflegiweyo intloko yam. Thula, thula, thula kaloku. Uthi cwaka. Thula kaloku, thula kaloku, thula kaloku. Uthi cwaka. Ndifuna ukukubonisa amacici am aqhamileyo nalicici lam elisisangqa kwaye likhulu liqhamile. Uyalibona? Uyalibona? Lisisangqa esikhulu esiqhamileyo. Lisisangqa esikhulu esiqhamileyo, esiqhamileyo, esiqhamileyo. Icici lam, icici lam. Wena kodwa, wena kodwa, wena kodwa, ndicela uphole, uzole kuba kuninzi endifuna ukukwenza namhlanje. Today's log. Today's log. Kwala namhlanje uhlelo. Today's log as inspired by the one and only Brenda Fassie. She is the queen of African pop music. She was born on the 3rd of November in 1964 and unfortunately passed away in 2004. But her music lives on for generations upon generations upon generations. She could sing, she could dance, and she could write beautiful music. Thank you to Mabri for blessing us with her talent. Now, without further ado, let's get right straight into today's video. Today, not tomorrow, not that other day, but today I will be reading you, yes, you, 2 poems, 2 Xhosa Clicky poems, and I would like you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this clicky poems. Alright, is that okay? esiXhoseni phambi kokuba wenze umbongo uqale uthi hoyina ndicela ndiboleke indlebe ndithethe uqhubekeke ubonge. In the Xhosa culture, before you start reciting a poem, there's one rule that you have to follow before you start. You start off by saying, hoyina, hoyina, hoyina. Can I please have your attention? Could you listen to me? I'm about to recite a poem. Please, please, lend me your ears. Lend me your ears just for a brief moment. For a brief moment. For a brief moment. And then people would be at peace. They would be quiet and listen. Listen to the poet. Abantu bayathula bathi cuwaka, bazole bamamele ukuba imbongi ifuna ukubonga ithini. So now that you know how to start a poem, when you are finishing, you say yecham. When now a poet says yecham, you know that they have reached their conclusion. They have conveyed their message. And that is it for Xhosa poetry rules on how to start and finish a poem. Lend me your ears. I want to share something with you. Thank you for listening to me. I have conveyed my message, and that's my conclusion. I am now done. So now, let's move on to the poetry. Wrote it in this notebook. Using this pen. It's actually not written by me. I'm not a poet, but there was this poem I was looking for on the internet, but I couldn't find it. And then I went on YouTube looking for it. I still couldn't find it, but instead I found this beautiful poem, and I want to share it with you guys. The first poem I'm going to be reciting is titled Inhliziyo Yam, and it is by Sithembiso Kos. Inhliziyo Yam by Sithembiso Kos. Hoyina, bendicela nindiboleke nje indlebe zenu okomzuzwana. Bantu bakuthi bendicela ukubuza ukuba eyam inhliziyo yenziwe ngoluphi na uhlobo. Ndayithatha lumene njani uthando? Bantu bakuthi bendicela ukubuza ukuba eyam inhliziyo yenziwe ngoluphi na uhlobo. Ndayiqavisa ukuba ingaqeli oqaqada engaxhalanga. Ndayiqavisa ukuba ingaqeli oqaqada engaxhalanga. Ndayixelela ukuba ixoke ingaxabisi ukuxolela ngokuba iyakuba lixhoba lokuxhatshazwa ngokungaxabisekanga. Bantu bakuthi bendicela ukubuza ukuba eyam inhliziyo yenziwe ngoluphi na uhlobo. Ewe, zininzi izindzingo zobomi endizisiselwe yile nhliziyo, indizisele izifubeku ezinzulu nezonzakeleyo. Bantu bakuthi bendicela ukubuza ukuba eyam inhliziyo yenziwe ngoluphi na uhlobo. Ewe, ndivile ifakele imifumba yale mfubu nezifubeko. Ndayivala yona yazivula ngathi ayivakalelwanga. Bantu bakuthi bendicela ukubuza ukuba eyam inhliziyo yenziwe ngoluphi na uhlobo. Ndayijonga, ndayijula-jula, ndayijikelezisa, nayo yandijonga, yandijula-jula, yandijikelezisa. Ewe, ndimnikile lo sisi, wayijonga, wayihlola-hlola, wayidla amahlongwane, wayihlaba, wayihlakaza, yangumdliva esidlangalaleni. Ewe, ndimnikile lo sisi, wayijonga, wayihlola-hlola, wayihlaba, wayihlakaza, yangumdliva esidlangalaleni. Bantu bakuthi bendicela ukubuza ukuba eyam inhliziyo yenziwe ngoluphi na uhlobo. Ndayiqwaba, ndayiqoqosha, ndayiqwaba, ndayiqeqesha, yona yaqala yaqava, yaqaqadeka, yandiqwela ngokuziqika-qika kuqaqaqa. Bantu bakuthi bendicela ukubuza ukuba eyam inhliziyo yenziwe ngoluphi na uhlobo. And that is Inhliziyo Yam by Sithembiso Nkosi. Such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful poem. Before we start translating it, let's move on to the second poem and read it. The second poem I'm going to be reciting, yes, is titled Zihlabana Nje Ziyalamba, and it is by Welile Shasha. It goes like this. Oh yina, zihlabana nje ziyalamba, govu boho zahlabana, nazimazi zama kodwa bavumi kuzivulela. Abanye bathe qhutsu kuba ziyakhaba. Bekungekho nampunde na enokurhola ihlahla ivula isango. Sakuyithiya sithi rhola ihlahla, siphinde sithi kuye vula isango. Zophuma zirhamza uqaqaqa, zithwela amajoba ziqhotsa. Kini nam ndahloba. Kwangake ngoku sekunjalo, akuseentsuku zatywala. Ndiyarham ndawudla uqaqaqa, zihlabana nje ziyalamba. Okay, that is the second poem titled Zihlabana nje ziyalamba, and it is by Welile Shasha. So, for the first poem, if you are interested and actually listening to it being recited by the author, I assumed that the person who posted it is the actual author, because I've never heard that poem being recited elsewhere. So I hope that he really is the author, and I will link his channel down below, and the poem, I will link the poem down below. You can subscribe, and if that's what you're interested in doing, and you can check out his other poems. So now let's move on to actually translating it. Yes, the author of this poem did recite it in a beautiful way, but today I'm also interested in translating it because only 2% of my subscribers are South African, and from that 2%, some of them are not even Xhosa speaking, which means the majority of people who watch this channel are not Xhosa speaking, so they have no idea what I just said. They were just listening. So don't worry, I got you. You know I always have your back, right? I hope you do. So let's start with the first poem by Tingles and translated. Oh Yina, can I have your attention? Please listen to me. I'm about to recite a very beautiful poem by Tingles. Bantu bakuthi bendicela ukubuza ukuba. My stomach is growling, I'm sorry. Bantu bakuthi bendicela ukubuza ukuba eyam inhliziyo yenziwe ngoluphi na uhlobo, which means people, can I please ask, how is my heart designed? How is my heart made? Inhliziyo is a heart. Yenziwe, to make something, to design something. Ukwenza, ngoluphi na uhlobo. How is it? What kind of a heart do I have? How's my heart made? How is it designed? Ndayithatha, ndayiqoqosha ukuba mayingayi kwela cala. I took it and then I gathered it together so it cannot go astray. Yona yenza eyayo intando, but it did its own thing. It didn't listen to me when I was gathering it so that it wouldn't go that side. Kwela cala is that side. Ukuye caleni is to go astray. So I told it, please heart, don't go that side. But it went that side. So umntu wazibona sele engenile emathandweni akazi nokuba limfumene njani uthando, which means umntu, a person, wazibona, to see sele engenile deep in emathandweni, love, akazi noba, I don't know, limfumene to get something, ngoluphi uhlobo uthando, kanjani uthando, love, how. So what this means is that a person just entered deep in love and they don't even know how it happened, they don't know how it happened. And then it says, ndayiqavisa ukuba ingaxeli uxam oxexetha engaqalanga. This part is the difficult part because you know what they say, isiXhosa sintsokotile, isiXhosa asitolikwa. Okay, is kind of like a small crocodile, that big lizard that lives on land, or a crocodile as so he says, if you pay careful attention to a crocodile or that small lizard, when it walks, it just like walks like this. It is all over the place, just like it walks like that. So ndayixelela ukuba ingaxeli uxam ukuba, okay, ndayixelela ukuba ingaxeli uxam. So I told it not to be all over the place, just like how a crocodile or a lizard walks, like it does not have a proper walking style, just like a cat, I told it not to wander around just like a lizard, like a crocodile, without having any proper structure. By the way, I'm translating this poem based on how I am hearing it, how I am perceiving it as a reader. Maybe this is not how the writer actually would translate it, but they didn't translate it. Me as a listener, I'm telling you guys, now I'm your teacher, I'm telling you guys how I'm learning from it as I'm reading it, okay? You better trust me, okay? You better trust my translation. And then it says, you see how a crocodile or a big lizard walks? It just walks without any care in the world. It walks anyhow. So I told it not to walk like a lizard, to walk anyhow and just wander around without ukuqala is being worried. Ubanekala is being worried, and ubanekala is being cautious of how you're doing things, So I told it not to wander around without any care in the world. It needs to be cautious of how. What is that? It needs to be cautious of how it goes and how it does things. It needs to have structure, just like a cat. And then ndayixelela ukuba ixoke. Ndayixelela ukuba ixoke. I told it to lie. I told the heart to lie. Ingaqabisi ukuxolela. Ukuxabisa is to put something on a pedestal. In this context, ukuxabisa, something that is of value. So it's valuable, okay? It's priceless. Ndayixelela ukuba ingaqabisi ukuxolela. I told it not to give value into forgiveness, not to value forgiving quickly. Ngoba yo balixhoba lokuxhatshazwa ngokungaxabisekanga. Ngokuba yoba lixhoba lokuxhatshazwa ngokungaxabisekanga. The reason why I told it not to forgive, not to value forgiving others, is because if it does that, it will be a slave of being trampled over by others. Others will just play around with it. So it shouldn't be forgiving because others others will take advantage of it. And then so ewe zininzi. You hear that person? I hope you didn't hear that. Ewe zininzi izindzingo zobomi endizisiselwe yile ntliziyo indizisele izivubeko ezinzulu nezonzakeleyo. There are a lot of hardships and there are a lot of tough situations which have been brought to me by this heart. This heart brought a lot of pain into my life. It brought a lot of hardships and pain into my life. There are countless, there's so many that the heart has actually brought into my life. Bantu bakithi bendicela ukubuza ukuba eyami inhliziyo yenziwe ngoluphi na uhlobo. Fellow brothers and sisters, can I quickly ask, I would like to ask you, what kind of a heart do I have? What is my heart made out of? What is this heart that I have? I wish I was a poet so that I could translate this in beautiful English, but I'm sorry, you get what you get. Ewe ndiyivile ifakele imivumba yalimvubu nesivubeko. Imvubu is a cane. Imvubu. No, what would I call imvubu? A cane is iqakati. Imvubu. Imvubu, I'm not sure if other cultures have it. Maybe they do. Imvubu is like a long, like rubbery cane. It's made out of like plastic or rubber, and it's thick where you hold it, and as you go along it gets thinner and thinner and thinner, and then you use it. It comes into my mind now that other countries know about it. It's that cane that they use in slave movies when they would strike the slaves. Imvubu is that thing that they use to, they would beat up slaves, but that is called imvubu. So yeah, so it says ewe ndiyivile ifakele imivimba yalemvubu nezivubeko, which means yes, I deeply felt the stripes of the shambok. They call it shambok in South Africa, I think. I'm not sure in other countries. I have felt the stripes of the shambok as it was striking me. Imivumba, what's left after being struck by a shambok or being beaten up, that print that remains behind in that scar is called imivumba. So I felt the scars and the pain of being beaten up by a shambok. Okay, and then it says ndayijonga, ndayijula-jula, ndayijikelezisa, ndayijonga. I looked at it. Ndayijula-jula. I threw it up and down, up and down, up. I juggled it. Jula-jula is to juggle. I juggled it. Ndayijikelezisa. And then I spinned it around. Jikelezisa is to spin around. Spin around. Ndayijikelezisa. Nayo yandijonga, yandijula-jula, yandijikelezisa, yandijamela. Sorry. Which means it also looked at me. Nayo yandijonga. It also looked at me. Yandijula-jula. It also juggled me. Yandijikelezisa. It also spin me around, which means it made me happy. It looked at me, and then jula-jula, when all jolly, it made me jolly, And the jiggles is how when you're happy and all jolly, you just spin around and then you're jumping up and down for joy. So that I made my heart happy and my heart made me happy. That's basically the moral of the story. Yogriba yandijikela, yogqiba yandijikela, which means after all that, I made it happy and it made me happy, and after all that, yandijikela, it turned against me, you know. When someone betrays you, when someone betrays you, ukujika is to turn your back. Jika, turn your back. Yandijikela, which means it turned its back on me. It went against me. It betrayed me. Okay. And then, ewe, ndamnika lo sisi, wayijonga, wayihlola, wayidla amahlongwane, wayihlaba, wayihlakaza, which means I gave my heart to this lady. I gave my heart to this love of mine, and they looked at it. They ukuhlola is to inspect something. They inspected my heart. They looked at it. They inspected my heart. Wayidla amahlongwane. They thoroughly went through it, you know, thoroughly. And then wayihlaba. Ukuhlaba is to stab. It's actually what Jackie loves doing. That thing that Jackie loves to do. Uklaba. And then the heart. And then wayihlakaza. Uklakaza is to just shuffle something, you know, and just tear it apart and just destroy it. So if you have a paper and then you're just like tearing it into pieces, or like if you have a properly made up place and then you just throw everything and toss it around, uyayihlakaza, just tossing everything around, just shoving everything is ukuhlakaza. So she just disheveled that upon stabbing it. Yangumhliva esidlangaleleni. And then which means it was disheveled and it was just all destroyed, and it was just like a hot mess. Esidlangalaleni. Isidlangalala is a crowd. A crowd is idlangalala. Like she did all that and then she presented it as a like horrible thing that's disheveled and just like horrible in front of everybody as idlangalaleni. And then yona, okay, and then dayiqwaba, dayiqoqosha, dayiqwaba, dayiqeqesha. Ukuqwaba is to, when you are somebody, ukuqwaba, to slap somebody. Dayiqwaba, which means I slapped my heart. I then slapped it. Dayiqoqosha, I slapped it and then I put it back together after slapping it, which means I learned a lesson. I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I fall in love? Why did my heart do this to me? Why did you do it? And then I taught it a lesson, and then after that I put it back together. Dayiqwaba, dayiqeqesha. Ukuqeqesha is to discipline. So I slapped it and I put it back together. Ukuqoqosha, dayiqwaba, dayiqeqesha. And then I slapped it again, and then I taught it a lesson. I said, you heart, that person broke your heart. Don't let it happen again. So ukuqwaba, qoqosha, slap, put it back together again, slap, and discipline it. I disciplined it. And then it says, yona yaqala yaqava, which means, but the heart started, what is ukuqava? Ukuqava, what is ukuqava in English? I'm just thinking, let me think, ukuqava. Should I even Google it? No. Okay. When someone is like too shy, when someone is shy, you say they are unentloni, and then the opposite of being shy. What is the opposite of being shy? That's what the heart did. It became the opposite of being shy. It was not shy. I can't think of the opposite of shy from the top of my head right now. I'm sorry, okay? Yona yaqala yaqava. And now it started being, it stopped being shy anymore. It was like being the opposite of shy. And then yaqaqadeka. Ukuqaqadeka is being juvenile. Being juvenile. So it's starting being juvenile. And then yandiqubela ngokusiqikaqika kuqaqaqa. And then after that, it just finished me. It just finished me. And then I was like, I'm done with it. When it started rolling downhill in a field of green pastures, and I was like, I'm done. It's all over now. And then bantu bakuthi bengicela ukubuza uba yami inhliziyo yenziwe ngoluphi na uhlobo. So once again, I'd like to ask, how is my heart made? Why is my heart made like this? What kind of a heart is it that I have? And that's the first poem by Sitembiso Kos. Now let's move on to translating the second poem. Let's see. Sihlabana nje siyalamba. This poem is actually about two cows. And these cows are fighting with their horns. Ukuhlaba is to pierce something. So they are piercing each other with their horns. They are fighting with each other with their horns. Govu is an expression. Govu, like when the horns are striking each other. That's like the sound. That's what the poet is describing, the sound of the horns striking each other. Boho is the govu. Boho. Now they've struck each other. Boho. Sahlabana. They've struck each other with their horns. And then nazi mazi zamasi. Here are a heifer. Is it heifers? What is a female cow? Imazi zamasi. No. Is it a heifer? I don't know. These are the two female cows and they're fighting. These are two cows which produce milk fighting with one another. I forgot the name of cows that produce milk, what they are called. I'm sorry. And then it says, Nazinkabi ezimataka. Then just describing the two cows by zinkabi, like powerful cows. I am so sorry about how I'm translating this. Zavalelwa kwithango labatakad. Honestly speaking, this is a poem that kids learn at school. I never learned this poem at school. My sister learned it at school, so it's translated differently, and I don't know how I would translate all of this into English because it's way complex and it's not easy to translate it into English, okay? And plus I never learned it at school, so I'm sorry. Inca siyayiphoselwa, which means which means grass or hay. They throw grass and hay at the cows, okay? Kodwa iqaqa uhlala abantwana. Uqaqaqa is a form of grass. There's a grass called uqaqaqa. It's a form of grass. Uhlala abantwana, which means something that isn't available in abundance. Something that's available in abundance. They usually say ihlala abantwana, which means it's a child's play. So when someone has a lot of money, they would normally say, yo, akanamali ihlala abantwana, which is an expression that they have a lot of money, such that even kids play with money. It's like a toy. So a child's play. Like it's available in abundance, and they are just throwing it at the cows. And then it says, kusikwa ngeqeqe kuboswe. Iqeqe is a grass cutter. That grass cutter that's made like this is iqeqe. So they take iqeqe and cut the grass, and then they just throw it in there. So kusikwa ngeqeqe kuboswe. They just cut the grass, and then they throw it at the cows, and then zihlabana nje ziyalamba. The reason why they are fighting is because they are suffering from poverty. And then bayahluta bazisengayo, the ones who are milking the cows, they never run hungry because they're milking the cows. Basingela eselweni nasemilonyeni. They are just milking it into their own bowls and into their own mouths. They are just milking it. They don't care about other people. They're just milking the cows to their own mouths and their own personal bowls. And then it says, Kodwa abavumi kusifulela. And even though they are doing these things, they don't even open the kraal so that the cows can get out of the kraal, and just explore the fields and all that. They're just stuck in there, and then they are being milked, and then they're hungry because the milkers are just milking to their own mouths and their own compartments. They don't care about the other people, and then they don't care about the cows and whether they're, exploring the world. They just want to cage them in the kraal. And then it says, where was I? Abakodwa bavuma ukusifulela. Abanye bathe qutsu kuba ziyakhaba. Abanye bathe qutsu. Ukuthi qutsu. Uthe qutsu is having a pot belly. Uthi qutsu is having a pot belly. Uthe qutsu is isisu, which means you have a pot belly. And then kuba ziyakhaba, which means the cows, they do kick others, okay? They allow certain people to milk them, and then others, they kick them, and only the ones who are milking the cows are actually having pot bellies because they're milking for themselves, okay? And they don't care about the others. Zihlabana nje ziyalamba. The reason why they are fighting is because they are poverty stricken, the cows, of course. And then it says, bekungekho nempunde na enokuhola ihlahla ivulisango. Impunde, isn't there anyone who could, holy ihlahla? Back in the villages, some kraals don't have like actual doors that you can open to get inside the kraal. Instead, on the door where you let the cows in, you have a tree branch. So you would put a tree branch to cover the doorway, and then when you want to let out the cows, you would move away the tree branch, and then the cows would get out. So now the poet is asking, isn't there anyone who could kindly move the tree branch and then open the door of the kraal? Okay. And then sakuitia iti sithi holy hlahla siphinde sithi kuye vulisango. And then if that person comes and then opens the door or moves the tree branch, ihlahla kulhola is to move it, move the tree branch. The person who actually does that, we are going to give him a new name. We are going to call him Holy Hlahla. We're going to call him Vulisango. zophuma zirhamsa uqaqaqa. Zophuma zirhamsa uqaqaqa means the cows will come out chewing grass. And then ukuhamza is to chew. Like when that sound comes, when you're chewing something that's chewy, yeah, like when you're chewing an apple, that sound is called ukuhamza. So they will come out chewing. Ukuhamza is to chew. And then where was I? And then zitwela machoba, ziqotsa, and then there will be, ukuchoba is to like, so bezitwela machoba with their horns. Okay, ziqotsa, ukuqotsa is to run very fast, being speedy. You need to be speedy, like Sonic the Hedgehog, being that fast. Ukuqotsa, like that's qotsa. That qotsa, like that qotsa, which means like being fast. And then kini nam. And then it says kini nam dahloba, kini nam dahloba. Oh my goodness, even I am happy, even I am excited. And then it says kwanga ke ngoku sekunjalo. I hope this may be it. I hope that this is the end, that this is now that I am happy, I am free. I'm thinking that the author was also referring to themselves as one of the cows, or they were referring to themselves as the person who was witnessing it as it was happening. So this actually tore their heart into pieces, but now the cows are free, they are happy. And then let's see what it says. And then it says kwanga kunganjalo. I hope this may be it. I hope things would stay like this forever. The cows will be free. And then it says akuntsuku zatywala ndirham ndawudla uqaqaqa, which means I myself have beat the grass. I chewed the grass. And then zihlabana nje ziyalamba. The reason why they are fighting, the cows are fighting, is because they are suffering from poverty. So that's the direct translation of the two poems I just read. Just dig deep into your mind and try to understand. But yeah, that is it from me. Ulale kakuhle, uphole kakuhle, uzole kakuhle, nokuba yintoni nantoni oyenzayo uyenze kakuhle. Mna ndiza kubona wena kwixesha elizayo. Bye bye and Nana. Okay, I'm just gonna put my edge into it, okay? But the hands have to be there. Okay, the ring is in the middle finger.